Welcome to the Video Game Collectors Podcast. My name is Henry. That's Matt there. Josh with his usual little hoodie. And yeah, we're interviewing me. Do it.
I like
Throwing it out there.
Yep. Yeah, just
send,
out there.
Send me the bill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take it away.
We've been meaning to have Henry on here for a little while, and
well, he's like our 10th biggest fan.
10th biggest.
Are you 10th or
I'm not in Canada,
so no, he's number one fan.
So he's number
15.
one.
Yeah, honestly, here my chair just went down there. That's better. Yeah, we finally got around to doing this because I have a lot more free time now. More than one.
Yeah, yo. So let's talk about this. That's complete. I think whatever PWCC did, it's a great loss to them, because if there's anyone who knows the collector community in video games specifically, it's Josh, right? So he was building something good, and he knows where all the games are. He knows who has what, and he was building something great. And for them to, let it go is just, I think it was a great disservice to them. And video games are going to be what they're going to be in the future, and it's not going to go away anytime. So that's what I have to say about that.
So what?
Yeah,
so
that's
what,
okay. That's
what happened, Josh?
What's that, Matt?
So what happened? Because obviously,
PWCC had a massive layoff across company, not just sales department, and not just where I was as the vertical manager for video games, but it was in marketing and operations, and where else? Sales, customer service. Every department had some layoffs, and it is what it is. It's business. What do you do when you need to save some money? You got to fire some people, I guess. So I harbor no ill will or resentment to them. It was a great experience. I am no longer there. And yeah, so the video games were growing pretty well, and it's a little disappointing not to be a part of it and try to continue to grow it. But I don't think it fit in quite with their grand scheme of things of what they're going to build in the future. So that's why I have some more free time. I appreciate you saying that, Henry. That was very kind, but I already knew that, so it doesn't matter. So,
well, a future without video games is a future without a lot of growth, man. So
yeah, no, I think that's fair too. A future without video games is like not looking at it as something as serious as this could be an amazing segment for us. Let's drop the word vertical because it's just kind of stupid.
Yeah.
It's its own medium, right? Like Tyler Wilkins said that best, I feel like, in the Collector's Quest podcast, that this is its own medium. Video games is its own medium, its own culture, it's its own thing. And other places that sell graded video games, they need to embrace that it's not just graded video games, right? We are just a small part of that culture. And when people fully understand that, I think that the market's going to explode. Not just for graded games, but for video games in general. We need access to cool collectibles. We need education on why those collectibles are cool and why people should want something like this. Let's be real. Video games are the biggest entertainment industry in the world.
Yeah, and I would say it's not only that from a perspective like how much money it generates. It's also the time commitment that people put into each video game, right? Like even modern video games where it's a lot easier to beat than like older video games, you have like Zelda games that take 50 hours of your life. Like what else out there takes, do you have to invest so much time and, love into in order to complete the game? Like literally nothing. Comic books you could read in like, I don't know, 30 minutes. Like how many times do you have to watch a movie in order for it to take up 50 hours of your life? There's just no other medium out there that like engrosses you so much into its world than video games. So it's like that's like just as a good segue into how I started video game collecting. That's sort of where I came from, because when I was a kid, apparently my parents said that I was really bad at eating. So the only time that I would actually eat was when they put an NES in front of me. And then, I started playing Mario, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, which is a terrible video game. And I remember Duck Hunt with the orange zapper I had. Like those are all fond memories I had, right? So like I played video games all throughout until like my teenage years. And just one day, like, on the internet, I was like, oh, video game collecting is pretty cool. Like I didn't collect video games. I just had my stack of, Super Mario, like Super Mario 3, like all the games I actually played. But, one day I was like, oh, I wonder if video game collecting is a thing. So I went and I found Digipress. So I actually was on Digipress. I bought stuff from Dream TR and I bought a bunch of like prototypes and all that stuff. And I sort of like just once I went to college, that's just sort of went away, and I had a stack of it. And really, the only time I came back was because during the pandemic, there was nothing to do, right? So I was like, I remember I bought a bunch of shit when I was a kid. And I wonder, like maybe it's time to sell some stuff because I literally just had it sitting there for like a decade, right? So I started looking through my stuff, listening to eBay. I'm like, holy shit, some of this stuff is worth a lot of money. I had like a CIB Super Mario World, and I sold that in like 2020, 2021. And it wasn't even in good condition for like, $800 or something. So I thought that was pretty wild. And then from then, I was just like, I did more research. And I was like, oh, grading games is a thing now. So here we are today.
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Just like that.
Yeah.
So now wait a minute. I have to ask because my mind just goes off. So you like wouldn't eat, or you had troubles eating, but if you put a NES in front of you, it would help eating.
Yeah. So you,
how would you...
Josh would understand, because when you're a 2 or 3 year old kid, all you want to do is play.
Yeah.
Right. And so I wouldn't eat because all I wanted to do is play. It's not that I wasn't hungry, and so like food is not important to a 2 or 3 year old kid. Like playing is what's most important. So what they would do is they just put me in front of NES and then they'd feed me. I wouldn't feed myself; they would feed me.
No, that's you're absolutely right. When we can't get my son to, he's like, I don't want to eat that, and if he's distracted, like his mind is moving and doing something else, and you're like, here, have a bite. You're playing Hot Wheels, you're like, have a bite of food. They'll eat it because they're just like in the moment because they want to be doing something different. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, video games wasn't the food thing at all. Didn't have that happen to me, but
oh no, well, yeah. I mean,
for me, it was mostly
fun too.
It was mostly like it helped me learn how to read, and I'm not the first person I've heard this from, right? Like, I got the instruction manuals out of games. I wanted to know what they said inside, so I was focused on the words and trying to figure out how to read this stuff because I was so into it. And I'd get a Nintendo Power. I remember I got my Nintendo Power subscription when I was in kindergarten, and I remember getting off the bus and going to the mailbox, and there was a Nintendo Power, right? And
hope you kept that in 9.8 condition.
Yeah, it's not.
Joking.
It ended up in the recycling bin, I'm sure. But
really?
it was those things that inspired me as a child to want to learn, right? And I think that we forget that, like, video games aren't just a time suck; they are a necessary tool in our lives nowadays for the youth to feel some sort of inspiration to do something. That's not a bad thing. I mean, some people would be like, oh, make your kid go outside and dig a hole or play in the dirt. Yeah, you should do that too, but let's be real. This isn't 1960. So we live in a different time. So embrace the change in technology and embrace what your kids want to double down on. That's what I got to say from it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any collectible that embodies the digital revolution more than anything else, I think it's video games, because it's entertainment through digital form. It's not just digging a ditch outside, right? So that's how it is.
You can dig a ditch in Minecraft, though.
You could.
Yeah. I would almost say earlier when you were mentioning that, you could sit down and play a video game for 50 hours and then, beat it. And I'm sitting here thinking, a lot of the games I play, nowadays, well, you would know too, Henry, aren't beatable because you're playing online multiplayer. So like, I'm thinking 50 hours is like a weekend of Halo 3, that was just like
Oh, yeah, I hope you're playing Lasso on that if it takes 50 hours.
that was nothing. No, but I mean like multiplayer,
Yeah.
because
Oh, okay. Yeah.
you're not you're referring to the game itself, but when I
Yeah.
think of video games these days, my mind immediately goes to multiplayer competition, getting better, like improving, leveling up, whatever it is. Even Call of Duty, my God, just leveling up all your weapons, and it's like that's such a time suck, but it's so much
Yeah. I
fun.
mean,
It's so much fun.
yeah.
Minecraft's the same way.
That's how they get you now. But yeah, it just the story is that it's just so engrossing. Whereas before, like everything was maybe single player games that came out for the NES, and now everything's online.
Yeah.
So even if you have like single player games, they have these like overarching storylines where you just keep going and keep going. So there's nothing. No, I don't think there's any other collectible like that out there where it truly grosses you for and could continually gross you for hours and hours and hours, days and
Yeah. So I mean, even Skyrim, like playing through that, how long does it take to beat like Skyrim? Is anybody here? I haven't beaten it. I've played it very little, but I remember having friends that have beaten it through so many times with like different characters and stuff. I'm like, what? But it took them for just so much commitment, so much
yeah,
time.
or even like a game like Witcher 3, right? That's a single player game, but dude, it takes like 150 hours to complete everything in that game. So they're basically sagas that have to finish. It's almost as long as the Harry Potter movies, right? They went on forever.
Not quite
Yeah.
as long, but almost as long.
Not quite as
Close.
Yeah, it's endless.
endless.
Huh.
Yep. So what do you so those are the memories. You hopped in Digipress,
Yeah.
and then you didn't collect until pandemic. So
Until a pandemic.
2000.
So
Wow.
yeah, like 202019. So
So what did you do in that decade? Tell us about that.
not video games.
Not
I went
video
to
games?
school, got a
Okay.
job, um, like had girlfriends, whatever, and then pandemic. So that's it. I mean, I bought a decent. So the Digipress days, right? Like I was in high school, so
Okay.
I had a side job. It was basically like it's not a lot of money, right? I'm not buying even back then. Seal. I remember like Seal Mario 3 was still hundreds of dollars, like not attainable for me, right?
Yeah.
So people complaining about Seal games are so expensive. Remember how cheap it was back then? Well, back then I still couldn't afford it. This is like
Yeah, it's all relative, right?
yeah,
Like,
it's all relative, sure.
until you
but-
make grown up money, you're not doing it. Like that's for me, it was always a budget. Like that's why I had like rules when I'd go to thrift stores. Like even if it was a game I needed, I wouldn't fucking buy it if it was $5. When sometimes if I was hunting good enough and finding stuff, I'd pay $1. I'm like, that's the thrill of it. And you have to do it on a budget when you're younger, and you have to buy stuff that you really don't need to learn what you want to actually collect.
Yeah.
As well.
So like even back then I couldn't afford all the sealed stuff. So I was just buying like I thought like, oh, maybe rare stuff is cool. So I was buying like Magnavox Odysseys, like Odyssey 2 and like all those like random video game consoles that they had. And then I bought a bunch of prototypes. Some of them were unreleased at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the quote unquote best buy I had was the Blockbuster cart for the Genesis. So
did you buy that on Digital Press?
no, I bought that on eBay.
Okay.
That was my biggest buy. I think it was like 1,500 or something like that. It was a lot of money.
Wow.
But
That was a
but
pretty
I
big,
do. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
that was a big buy back then. Like that's,
No, yeah, it was. And I think I bought that because I remember someone posting an NWC back then, a gray cart for 5K, and then a gold cart for 10K. And in my mind, it's like, dude, who the hell's gonna pay 10K for a gold cart? It's like sold like that, right? So I was thinking, so everything was so relative to that point where it's like, oh well, I couldn't afford NWC, but this Genesis card's like 1,500 or whatever it was. So
Hmm.
yeah. So that was my biggest buy back then, but
Was that
everything else was just CIB stuff.
was that Dream TR selling off gold cards back then for
I
10K?
don't I don't remember if it was.
I don't think so.
I don't think it was. No.
What is the? I think the
I
most.
also remember the Campus Challenge being sold then too.
Mhm.
So like that. Yeah.
Sold a couple times.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Mhm. Yeah,
I think I was around for the first time. That's it.
I think. Yeah, the first
That's
time it went to Rare Gamer Girl, and then it ended up with. Then they put it on eBay open auction, or maybe that was JJ Hendricks who put it on eBay open auction. JJ Games, and then Rare Gamer Girl got it. I don't know who owns it now.
because there's just one, right?
You just won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn, that shit's cool.
Yeah.
Like just thinking about that lore of the internet, like before that time, before that post showed up on the internet, it was just this thing happened. We don't know if it exists still. And then boom, one day it shows up.
Yeah.
Right. The growth of the hobby alongside internet forums is pretty amazing. These things happening in real time that we witness. It's insane, actually. There's so much discovery still to be done in video game collecting.
Yeah.
Like think about that. Think about that with comic books. You're like, you might find a rare comic book every now and then, or there might be some art that shows up. But tomorrow in video games, you could literally find a new video game that was in production, never made, and here's the prototype of it. That could happen. Could be happening right this second. That doesn't happen in other hobbies.
Well, I would say that you're talking about how like people's collecting habits change,
Mhm.
and so for me it was like, so I started with CIVs and all that stuff, and then in 2019 when I started selling them off, I was like, oh okay, um, grading games is a thing. So at that time, it like the supply was really constricted for any sealed game because it took forever to get stuff back from Water VJ or whatever. So I was just literally buying whatever I could. Obviously, in hindsight, is a terrible idea. So I think throughout time, you actually always look at your collection. You're like, is that something I really need, or am I trying to like am I really buying what I want to keep, right? So when you have people out there online who are like, "Oh, dude, you're just a flipper or a reseller," it for some people it is like their business to do it, but for others it's like, okay, you buy it and you're like, I don't really need this because I want to get something better, or I want to get my own grail type of thing. So it's okay to resell if you're working towards what you ultimately want to get, right? And collecting habits change all the time, so it's not a bad thing to be like, oh, okay, I thought I wanted this, but I don't want it anymore. So what are you gonna do? Just hold on to it forever?
No, it's fine. And the whole idea that people gatekeep and then certain items, and then others will gaslight you for selling an item because you're not doing what a collector should do is just horseshit.
Yeah.
Right. It's the stupidest thing in the world because it's not their item. It's your thing to be able to do what you want to do with it. And there's no the whole concept of it that exists on these Facebook groups, that the Nintendo over 30s or bullshit like that, like console purist, or what's the other one? I don't know, the physical video game things. These people, they get in there and complain to people that they bought something and then they had to sell it. Like, who gives a shit? You guys are pushing people away from wanting to collect in general.
Yeah.
Who cares?
If no one sold anything that they bought, the hobby would be dead because there would be nothing to buy, right? Everyone's just holding on to stuff. So
those people are also just trying to figure out life too. They don't know what they're doing. you know, because the next thing they know, they find some huge score, and 2 months earlier they were saying WADA's a scam, but now they got 5 sealed copies of Mike Tyson's Punch Out. And what are they going to do? I hope
Exactly.
they
yeah.
open them like the dumbasses they are, but that's not going to happen. They're going to double down and they're going to sell that shit like any normal human being would.
Yeah.
So
what you're really saying is you're a flipper then, Henry. That's what I got out of that whole thing.
I have bought hundreds of games. I wouldn't say I'm a flipper. I would say obviously now the market's depressed.
you have to be good at flipping stuff if you're considered a flipper.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
I don't know
at
if Henry's
so,
good at that.
No, I'm real bad at it. Like,
Okay, I'm real bad.
I buy like raw games on eBay and they come back 9.2 A+. I'm like, I can't. I don't have like the graders. But like the market right now is obviously depressed, right? Some people say it's rebounding, some people say it's not, but there are like big games out there that 2 years ago, if they came up for auction, you're like, oh goddamn, it's gonna be like $1 million, right? But now you could get them for, I don't know. I mean, it's still a lot of money, probably like 50,000, 100,000, something.
Yeah.
But you work your way up to it, so you're like, okay, I bought all these games for X amount of money. If I sell all of them, how much do I expect back? And can I get that one game that I want? Right. So I think now is a good time to really consolidate your collection, or at least that's what I'm doing. Right. So I bought hundreds of games. I've sold hundreds of games. And I probably have like 150 right now. And honestly, that can probably be cut down to like 50.
And it's a lot nicer storing the smaller amount too, and just
because the games that I have now are games that people would not only like people would want, but it's something I'm proud to have. Like, all right, so I worked my way up to getting this game. Like for example, like I have a Silent Hill 9.8 A++, the non-foil version, right?
Mhm.
So that's the pinnacle. So I don't need to upgrade anymore. Versus like, I had like a 9.6 A+, I sold that and to buy the perfect copy.
Unless
and I sold a lot of other stuff too. Obviously, I've taken losses on it, but you sort of in this time, this is when you position yourself for the next run up. If you have an investor mindset or even a collector's mindset, it's the time to do it now.
So what you're saying, it's a good time to organize your collecting goals, your thoughts, and everything along with it. I don't disagree, but it's so hard when you like all sorts of shit. So
yeah, I know, Josh, you have like a million things.
You and I have conversations about these sort of goals, and I'm on board, and then like 2 days later I go in my game room and I'm like, I'm not on board. I'm not.
He's just buying stuff left and right. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, hey, as long as it's cheap, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, it's cheap, but I don't know if it makes sense. Those are two different things, right?
But it also depends on
just because something's cheap doesn't mean you should buy it.
Yeah, but it also depends on what your goal is, right? Like if your goal is to be like, I want to set collect for something, and it doesn't matter what the grade is, then yeah, go and buy all that like that. But that's like not that's not my goal. So that's why I'm trying to stop buying. Like if it's right now, if it's not near top of pop stuff in a culturally relevant game, I'm just not interested.
It's fair.
That's basically it. Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad approach.
So that answered my next question, which what are you interested in these days? But you just answered it. So
yeah.
So
list. If it's not near top of pop, 98 A++, VJ 95, whatever, of an important game, or at least something that maybe someone will want in the future. If it's not a game that I'm gonna keep in my collection forever, then that's what I'm gonna go after, because there's no better time to do it than now. If you were to look at that game, like, all right, that game comes up 2 years before during the boom time, that thing would be like 10x the price. So I I don't think there's any better time to buy that stuff than now.
I don't disagree. I think people look at this market. Let's call it a market. Fuck that word, right? I think people look at the prices of video games going, here we are. Now we're going this way.
Yep.
And now maybe we're climbing a little, but realistically, it's everything. All the speculators were going like this, right?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's not fun anymore. So it went down. But where we're at right now, like, you're right. We haven't hit the floor on some shit. But
No.
what we have seen is good growth in collector based games. I feel like.
Yep.
I feel like stuff that hasn't shown up for auction does well. You get a Bomberman 2 that goes almost 10 grand. I don't think that shit's doing 10 grand during the pandemic. I really don't. And you get these different arms from this lull going up in different areas. So I think there needs to be a way to trace how certain things perform. What I've noticed is the people that are buying games right now, they're the collectors who may have made pretty good money during the boom with stuff. And they're like, Zelda, Mario, I sold them all while I was doing this. And now I'm hanging out. Maybe I have another one on the side, but I'm going to be buying the other stuff right now that comes up, that never comes up for sale.
Yeah, the rare stuff. They're starting to really be educated better as they've come into the market. And now they understand how rare some of the stuff coming up is.
Sure. But I also think it's a little short-sighted at the same time. Because once we get to the 10K, 20K plateau of these esoteric titles, Bomberman is cool. And people know what Bomberman is. But Bomberman 2 on NES is very specific of a game. It's rare sealed. It's a rare CIB. It's a rare cartridge. Has value behind it because collectors have put that value behind it. Does that thing continue to go up as the markets sustain and correct after hitting a floor? I'm on the notion that doesn't.
If I were to buy stuff now, I would put that into Mario and Zelda, because the only way that the market grows or start to grow again is if you have new people come in. Mm-hmm. And new people are not going to care about Bomberman 2.
They might. Be careful.
I don't think so. Or they will care about Mario and Zelda first.
They will care.
And eventually, maybe they'll care about Bomberman 2.
You talk about how when you got into this, the whole discovery of like, you went on and bought Odyssey 2, you bought all this weird shit.
Yeah.
I think that is also going to happen when we get new people coming into this hobby. It might not be our age. It might be 16-year-olds. The whole idea that video games existed before their current generation of what they grew up playing to a collector is fascinating. And if we give the information, the education of how to access these other things and why they're cool, where to play them, how to play them, what TV they work best on, that's going to help video games as a whole. Because every generation, they're going to want to explore the past. And it doesn't mean that they're going to play Mario Brothers, right? That they probably will, but it means that they're going to go deeper. There's always going to be people who go deeper. Come on, Matt, please.
That's what she said.
Yes.
There
okay.
you go.
I missed a few earlier, but
I know. So when you say that you got into this, and when I did the same thing. It was so cool going to garage sale, getting an Atari 800, never knowing what an Atari 800 was because I didn't have one as a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Atari had its whole line of own computers. I knew Apple II and I knew Commodore 64. The whole idea that I'm like, what the hell is an Atari 800? And I bought it and I got all these discs with it and all these games. And I'm like, this is awesome. This is discovery for me. And that is going to exist in every generation of gamer that goes on to collect.
Yeah. So, but where do we get that centralized database, right? Like, because when I started collecting, all I did was look at the Digipress rarity guide.
Mm-hmm, me too.
That's what I looked at, right? So like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this prototype never got dumped, so it's a rarity of 10. So I'm gonna buy it, right? Well, now, like everything's so disjointed. So
like an Adventure Vision. I wanted an Adventure Vision because they put it in the fucking book. I think that's one thing. We need educational material in form of books, online resources that are free and available and correct for collecting, and just promotion of that stuff to people.
Wait, are Are you saying there's information that is incorrect?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying people are wrong for putting it out there as incorrect. They just don't know.
Yeah.
So, but having correct information is key to growth. If we go along the lines and make assumptions, and I do it, I'm very guilty of that, of why something exists a certain way, of why it exists. It's just preconceived notions of what we think a 5-screw card should always go in a hang tab box, when that's not the case. We just have to put aside assumptions and go with facts. What we know, what we have, and what we can see. So,
or be honest about the fact that we don't know. Like,
be honest. Yes,
this is our
very
assumption. This may be corrected later down the road, but as for now, this is what we think is here, and so on.
But the best thing to do in collecting something like that is don't call something it's not. And I don't know if I have a good example, but I think calling something that it isn't is worse than it's the worst thing you can do. You can't do anything worse. Like, if you don't know exactly what a variant on a game is, or why it exists, or why it should be touted as the collectible to buy, it shouldn't be put out there by somebody that is influential in any way. If it's WADA labeling something incorrectly, if it's any auction house saying that this came first without definitively knowing, like, okay, so let's call it Pokemon Red. It's widely accepted that, was it Sandshrew?
Sandshrew, yeah.
Is a first print.
You think it cuts from a Costco box?
That's where my assumption is. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think any of us, we can speculate and formulate our own opinions on this stuff. But to go out and definitively say this is first print, it's just wrong in the long term to do. I don't know what the solution is. Try to get the correct information, present what we know as the facts in a centralized hub so people can understand and see what this shit really is. Maybe White Bold's box didn't come first and it came out second. We don't know. I mean, we're pretty confident it came first, like 99% sure. But maybe the no rev came first and then they shipped the second ones the second week on accident, not first.
I don't see how White Bullets wouldn't be first.
Yeah. That's what she said.
Wow. But to sort of expand on what you're saying, it's like, I think specifically for the video game community, maybe it's because it's so small compared to other communities, but you have like all these content creators for like cards, all different types, like sports cards, Pokemon cards, whatever cards, Magic cards. You have all these content creators for that, but specifically for like video game collecting, like let's say graded stuff, right? Because most of those people who do like the sports cards and Pokemon cards, they do content on graded stuff, right? But for video games, you don't really see that. And yeah, everyone gonna say, "Oh, WADA came in and made it more popular again," right? But where do we
did they not?
No, they did. They did.
They did.
They did. But then it's sort of like but you need that content behind it to reach people, and then you can educate them, because I guarantee you they're probably I would say maybe 9 out of 10 people don't know that video games can be graded still, even with this whole WADA thing. It's like the whole WADA thing, everyone in the video game community knows, but outside of that, no one knows, right? But then you go on, like, people go on ESPN, they see these news articles about, like, Mickey Mantle 9.5 selling for $12 million, and then that's their first exposure to a graded sports card, right? But where's that for video game, for the video game community? There isn't that. And
I'll tell you where it's at right now. It's when New York Times publishes an article that should be video game centric, and they take a VHS spin on it, which is just absolutely horseshit. I mean, I don't want to speak ill will of a department at Heritage Auctions, but let's be real. That's a stupid way to lead an article when video games are as a collectible, video games are more culturally significant than VHS tapes as a collectible.
Video games have been collected since it became like obviously since the Atari days, there probably were collectors,
Yeah,
but
VHS too.
it was
Like,
yeah VHS too as well, of course. But like when you're talking about non-grade stuff, people go wild for this shit. Like there's a lot of content out there about people going bargain hunting, going to garage sales, trying to find like that diamond in the rough, right? So video game collecting is and has been around for decades. It's just this whole pushback against graded stuff because of the price run up, right? And
yep.
because the people who collected a certain way don't have the things that can fit, like that can go into WADA cases and sell for $1 million. They're pushing back. It's like, well, we collected it this way. Like, why is their stuff worth $1 million? It's money laundering, clearly.
Yeah, they're quick to make judgments because they don't care about condition. Let's be
Yeah.
real. Like, if you want to go down to the root of this, these collectors that have a shelf of Nintendo games have average to shitty condition collections because the condition of their stuff sucks. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but the condition, they don't care.
Yeah.
Or they think that
condition, and it's a money thing too. If you don't have the money to buy something, I mean, you have to come up with like a solution in your head as to justify that. A lot of times I'm guilty of this as well, so I'm not, just throwing that out there. I mean, that's a good logical excuse in your head.
It's a good logical excuse, right? But it's also if you get on and bitch about it that somebody's doing something that you're not, that's jealousy to a T. And because you can't afford something, get off your ass. We've said this before. Get up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning and go to a garage sale. Go find the shit you can't afford. And if you build off of that, you go and flip it so you can afford it. Like, that's just how this shit works. There's no other way to frame it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just going in circles here. Back to the VHS thing with the New York Times and Heritage. It's just a little blurb, like a little snippet area about video games in that article.
I missed this article, by the way, so I don't know what you're.
It's talking about how popular culture is valuable, like stuff that we grew up with in the mass culture of the 80s. And
this was recently.
Mm-hmm. I think that the writer, I don't know who he is. I'm not going to talk ill will, but I think it was a very unprofessional approach. He went as far as to calling the Mario, one of the sticker Mario. He didn't mention it was sealed. Didn't talk about the condition, and he called it a cartridge, a Mario cartridge sold for X, Y, and Z. It's bad fucking information. Pardon my French, but that's what I'm talking about. You get a mass media company like the New York Times to publish an article, and you can't even call the goddamn thing the right name. That's irresponsible journalism. I'm sorry to get heated about it, but I'm pissed. It was a great opportunity to talk about video games in a positive way, and they just shit the bed. I'm sorry, New York Times. I hope you hear this one day. I'm done ranting about it, but it really bothered me because I love video games so much, and they did a disservice to it.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's what people are afraid of coming into video games collecting, because there's just so much to learn beyond like almost any other collectible. Like there are people out there that I follow, like some sports card guys on Instagram, and like they say something like, I don't collect anything that has like cellophane or sealed wrapped around, because they can't get that around their head. Like, oh, how do you tell if this thing is sealed or not? They're no different than like people on Reddit. You're like, oh, how does WADA know that this thing is not resealed and all that stuff? Well, you trust the people who are in the company, because those people who are in the company have been doing this for a really goddamn long time, and they've seen tens of thousands of games, and they've done their research, right? So like, for you not to be interested because it's something that you don't understand, I guess it is a normal feeling to have, because you have the fear of like, am I really getting what I'm getting? But sometimes you just gotta trust the experts.
I feel
and
that way whenever I buy a PSA 10 card. Am I actually getting a PSA 10?
no, and that's the thing. Like I want to say, like was there just a scandal that came out that said like that there's this guy on YouTube who shows you how to trim cards, and the guy, he sold a bunch of cards to a bunch of people. So who like PSA doesn't get everything right either. They're grading trim cards all over the place, and you just don't know.
Wada doesn't either. That's the thing. Like I've gotten a 9.4. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at here?
Yeah.
People
make mistakes, but then it's like they all of a sudden everything's invalidated because of this one example.
One mistake.
Well, VGA makes mistakes too.
Yeah, of course. Everyone makes mistakes. It's just like you go into it, the inherent risk, probably the stuff you're getting is right. It is legitimate and is graded well. But if you collect long enough, you can tell, okay, this is an accurate grade, or this is really sealed. Like I trust WADA, I trust VGA most of the time to tell me that something's authentic, right? Obviously, you could always say like, oh, I mean, this undergraded, this overgraded, but generally they're around in the same ballpark. And if you can't get over the fact like, oh, they made one mistake, everything else is invalidated, then this is not the hobby for it, right? And it's just like I think most of the people who bitch and complain about it on Reddit, yeah, they do collect video games, but especially for sealed, graded stuff, they are not the target audience that we should go after, because they have set in their minds that this is a scam, and it's that they can collect their own way, and that's completely fine. But those aren't the people that we should be targeting.
Yeah. Oh, if there's 100 people on that Reddit, the subreddit video game collecting, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 10 of them will be around in the next 5 years. I'm dead serious.
Probably.
Like that's exactly how that's the ratio you're going to look at. 10-1, right? So that's going to exist, and that has existed in video game collecting for years. It's just louder, it's easier to say it, and you can hide easier behind your voice on the internet. So half of these bitches that say this shit, Henry, man, I'm feeling it today.
I'm glad I got you going, man.
They've been saying it for years, and it's not just it's just the same rehash shit over again. You get it in every avenue of the internet of the past. Why do you collect 12 variants of this game? Why do you have that on your shelf? You don't need that many. Why'd you flip this? Why are you trying to be a reseller? Those people suck. You should be a collector through and through. That has happened since the very first day I joined Digital Press, and posted a picture of my video game collection where I had multiple copies of Legend of Zelda. And people are like, you don't need more than one.
People on Digital Press said that?
Yeah. Like these naysayers have existed ever since collecting, and it exists across collectibles.
Of course.
Why would you grade a baseball card? Old dudes at a card show that are just selling their raw cards, like rad 50s and 60s shit. I don't grade cards. I'm like, oh, well, it looks like you're missing out on about $400 right here, you dumbass. Like people think that they can just do it better because they're the old guard, and that's okay. If that's one thing we have to get away from in this world, in video game collecting especially, don't be the old guard. Just be open to change, and that shit evolves. And it will. Because the next person the person that wants to buy your collection when you're on your deathbed and your kids need to pay for your funeral is going to be the person that takes all those games and grades them. So get off your high horse, you dumbass.
And if you didn't grade it before, you're just losing on money. That's basically it. Yeah.
Not everything's going to get graded though. That's not the point.
No, of course, and it shouldn't be. That like I think right now is sort of the junk slab era when it comes to like all of what. Like I grade a lot of shit that was not supposed to be graded, right? Like I think a lot of us have done that, and that's why Heritage still has a shit ton of stuff to sell every week, because everyone's like, oh, I don't actually need that crap that I got a 9.2 on or whatever. So let me just set it in and take my loss if I need to and just be done with it. And that's a good thing, right? Because people are consolidating. They're selling the stuff that they don't want and buying stuff that they do want, or but just to no, sorry, go ahead.
No, go keep going. I want to go on a
Yeah.
different tangent.
So I just want to also touch on the fact, like, so get the Greg, right? Like Dylan, I think he's doing a great service for our community, well, which I would say is like sealed grade stuff, right? Because
Mhm.
he's a warrior out there every day going on Reddit trying to like um nicely explain things to people when they shit on WADA, or when they shit on like certain graded stuff or even non-graded stuff, right? He's trying to be positive, trying to explain things to people, and then when they get worked up and all that stuff, he never like throws a temper tantrum and everything. Like if I was supposed to do that stuff, I would just like tell him to go take a hike, right? But he's just doing I feel like a great service to trying to educate people on the off chance that one person in that Reddit actually reads it and is like, oh, this sort of makes sense, then I feel like he's done a great job. So I
Yeah,
just want to
positivity
put it out
wins.
there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you're right. Positivity wins. So
and yeah,
being
It's a good
positive is a good mantra to have. Um, I don't think it should be conflated though that there's some people that just won't change in this stuff.
oh
So
no, 100%. That's what
I
I'm saying.
get
Those,
I get
those
what you're
Reddit
saying though.
guys, they are not who we should be going after, or you shouldn't even be like wasting your time on them.
Yeah, honestly, you shouldn't.
Because
It's honestly not worth it.
it's completely different. Like how they collect is completely different than how we collect, which is we care about condition. And yeah, okay, we send it to a third party to tell us what the condition is because that commoditizes it, but it basically creates a level ground where you and I, when we transact, we can agree, okay, this thing's 9-4.
Right.
Versus like, oh, I think this is very nice. And we're like, oh, I don't think it's as nice. And then where's the common ground? So
Yeah, that's because if you've ever in your mind held a game that somebody sent you, you bought, and they say, "Oh, it's 9 out of 10. It's really great," and you get it, and you're like, "This thing's fucked." Right?
yeah, no, yeah,
That's happened to
yeah,
me many times.
yeah,
So when as a CIB collector, that was my thing, like dead mint CIBs. And when I'd get something that didn't live up to the expectations, it was disappointing. It made me not want to collect. So
yeah.
with grading, with getting a number and following a company, CGC, WADA, whoever, who you feel confident in that they're getting the grades right on the most important part, the box, in my opinion, then that changes the game for your average collector. That I'm not going to say I'm an average collector, but your average CIB collector. And we're seeing it across the board.
Yeah,
We have the
100%.
Mint CIB group on Facebook. Dudes are trading games left and right so they can swap parts to upgrade their part for their CIB.
Yeah.
And it's all starts here with hang tab boxes. And that's where everything fucking starts in collecting. It's so crazy to think. Starts with unlicensed, and it starts with black box and hang tab boxes.
And now that it's more affordable to grade, now that grading's come way down, CGC was helped in that process. Forced Wada's hand there. More people are doing it now.
Yeah,
it was expensive before.
I'm still on the on board with the idea that all the pricing needs to come down. And they're going to see an influx of items to grade, and what they think they might be missing out on in revenue isn't what they're actually missing out on, because people just aren't sending in because it's too expensive for them. So
sure.
And if they don't get enough volume, they probably will lower it again. That's why they lowered it now, right? Because
hope so.
Things aren't too hot anymore. So
even if they have volume, like make it affordable.
At least have an affordable tier. That's you trade off the patience for waiting.
Yeah, but let me be clear. I'm not saying it's not affordable. I understand they're running a business. They have margins they have to meet.
Yep.
But let's figure out a way to make it affordable. I think the genuine thing is a good idea. But then I don't get the condition of the box, which I really want. I think there's just undervalued areas in all video game collecting that could be touched on and expanded on, and there could be markets for. So
the Josh Barley company.
No.
No.
One door closes, the other one opens.
Yeah.
If you send me your shit, you're not getting it back. That's my company.
Josh's front door closed. Now his back door opened right up.
That's what she said.
I don't know if we're just going on mad tangents here or we're actually being constructive. And I just got upset. I'm sorry.
No, man, my mind goes in tangents too. You know that. So.
Yeah. Oh man, what happened in the video game world this last week?
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, I got laid off, and that's about it. I didn't pay attention. Did you?
I did not watch. What's today? Oh gosh,
Monday, May
Monday.
1st.
there was a Sega auction on Thursday, right?
Oh, I did watch that. Oh, I won an item.
Yeah. So what happened there? Because I did not see the Sega auction. I did not keep up on them.
Yeah, Thursday was the day that was the day I got the HR group Zoom call to be let go. So I got on Heritage and I bought some video games just like any normal person would. It was fine. I really am not upset about the whole process of it. I feel blessed for the opportunity to work there and do something that for 7.5 months or whatever, however long I worked there, that I really love doing. So it was a good experience. Good people work there. So they just know that there are still really good people. And if you stop bidding on there, it doesn't hurt anything. You're not like saying F you to the company, but you're essentially saying F you to the people who can sign games.
Yeah.
There, which sucks. And you're saying you're giving an F you to the employees who are good at that company, right? I'm not saying there's bad employees, but people take corporations as this is it, fuck them entity, but there are people and their livelihoods depend on it behind those companies. And if shit just continues to decline, even in video games, comics, whatever, cards, you need to just go out and support it because there's people with jobs on the line with stuff like that. So that's all I got to say about that. I made genuine lifelong friends at the place in a matter of just a couple months, realistically, half a year, right? I'm very thankful for it. So outside of that, there's going to be some deals on PWCC. I'll say that. And then I bought Strider on Heritage for Sega Master System, the US version. That's
How much was that?
$400, something.
Was it?
Well, it was great.
Yeah,
948. It was a CGC 94A. So
wow.
I'll get to see what they call a 94A. I don't know on a Master System game, but yeah, that's what happened in the video game world last week, from my perspective.
We could bring Wade on to talk about the Sega auction because I'm sure he was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Does he even need anything else?
Do we really need anything at all?
No.
No.
We're all going to sell now. Thanks, Henry. We appreciate that.
No, right.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
But,
This was the moment.
Still not selling the Halo 3 though.
Yeah.
Yo, you guys should get more collectors on. So like all these other like not verticals, all these other collectibles, like they have their community, the dudes who create content like almost daily, and people talk to each other. So I feel like there are a lot of big collectors out there, a lot of smaller collectors out there who should get their voices heard.
I agree. We really want to do that.
And we need to connect, man. That's how we grow it. So
yeah, you're right. I think we tried to do that for a while, but it just got hard. That's
the scheduling and everything.
Yeah, and I want to get back to that. That's why you're here today.
Yeah, how long
that is why I'm here. I'm usually reserved. I lurk in the shadows, but not today.
How long has it taken us to even get you on when even you agreed to it? It's been like how many months?
Like 2 months. You gotta get Dan Kaplan on this thing.
That's the problem. We always schedule that asshole, and he just ghosts us.
I know, but do you guys seriously schedule him, or are you just like saying you do?
Yeah, he's there. It was today, but luckily you were there to fill the slot.
Yeah, you filled this. That's what she said.
So fill that slot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Well,
He was what was he doing? He was he couldn't make it today because he was reinventing the wheel.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I can't blame him.
the wheel needs an upgrade.
Oh shit! Talk about something that does.
Wonder if he finished it.
He should show us. He should show you guys when he comes on the podcast, like 5 years later. Yo,
Episode-
what comes first, Dan Kaplan or VJ Popper?
I'm gonna do
Ooh.
you one better. Episode 69.
Episode 69.
Okay. He deserves it. Yeah, he deserves it.
I don't think Kaplan's gonna make it for episode 69 because that's the one we're not going to invite him for.
just have a poster of him and then put it in on video in one of the boxes.
Just have someone do a voiceover, like make up a story for him.
I'd really like to give a future prize away of a signed photo of Dan Kaplan framed. I would really like to give that away to one of our viewers in the future.
Well, who's signing it? Is Dan Kaplan signing it?
Yeah, Dan Kaplan.
Okay. You could get him to sign it. All right,
Yeah.
Or you're not forging his signature, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly.
What would Dan Kaplan do? We'll make some bracelets.
Oh yeah.
WWDKD.
I like this. I like the signed picture idea.
I do too. Okay.
What else you got on your mind, Henry? I think my. Oh wait, what's your favorite game?
My favorite game of all time.
Yeah, everything goes out the door. You can only play whatever one game. What is it?
Only one game.
Yeah, you can only play one
so
game.
I played a lot of Halo over the pandemic, like the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah,
that I guess you could consider that a game, but when you have like five games in one, it's sort of like that's a good bang for your bucks. If I had to choose, I'd probably keep that.
But we'll let it slide. I'm accepting that.
I'm not letting that shit slide. You need one game.
All right, fine. I really like Burnout.
Could you play it for the rest of time?
No, the original Burnout.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
No, sure. I think I have it. Do I have it here? Oh yeah, right here.
I remember when I got that on GameCube.
What is this? You see it?
You got PS2 version?
Yeah, that's why I got it.
That's dope. That game is good.
I played the hell out of the game.
Yeah, dude. I played the hell out of California, or San Francisco Rush.
Oh, the N64 one, right?
Yeah, I remember playing that. But when Burnout came out on GameCube, I got it. I remember playing the shit out of that game. I think I have a sealed one.
Yeah, it was the first time where I remember it was like Gran Turismo. I don't think they had, did they have collision like detection where like the car deteriorates when you keep slamming it? I don't think they had it in the first few games, right?
I don't think you just died and got disqualified, I thought.
Yeah, so Burnout was like the first racing game where you're supposed to cause mayhem, right?
Yeah,
it was really fun. I kept playing like the challenges where you're supposed to crash into as many things and get the high score. Like that was a fun part.
I'm gonna have to play that now.
It's a fun game.
Burnout. But Master Chief Collection probably first.
Yeah, you get the prize on that one anyway because we talked about Halo. So
that's a good question, right? Like, if you were going to play one game for the rest of time, like, what would it be?
Halo.
You guys, the original one, Halo 1,
maybe Call of Duty. No, I'd have to go with Halo 3. Personally,
Halo 3, yeah.
Maybe Call of Duty.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah. I'm weird. I could do 3 as well, but 2 is a classic. So
yeah, I would say Minecraft.
Yeah.
You still play Minecraft?
Yeah, I could play it for the rest of the time.
Wow.
A
So
genuine.
so you're serious about like digging ditches in Minecraft? Because that's what
No,
you
I'm
do.
dead serious. My kids go to bed
That's
and I
what you
play
just-
Minecraft. I'm not kidding.
when you look at Josh's map, it's just full of holes that's been dug.
Minecraft is fantastic.
That is probably your favorite modern game.
Without a doubt, I think it should be everybody's favorite modern game. But I just think it transcends video games more than anything.
I mean, it's pop culture at this point.
Right. Yeah. But even more so than I just think there's so many layers to the whole Minecraft IP. It just blows my mind. Like you go on YouTube and people build worlds and then they act out a series like they run a series where there are two characters and they talk characters and they do voiceovers for the characters and like, hey, we're going here in this world. What's going to happen if I fall in lava? Bullshit like that. It's become something that nobody ever thought it would become.
They do that with Grand Theft Auto too.
I know. Thank God. Oh, I I'd probably play GTA 5 for the rest of the time, actually.
Yeah, that thing keeps going on. Yeah, another one of these endless games that Matt talked about.
Minecraft is so cool.
But Minecraft, like everyone can play, right? Like your kids can play too. GTA,
Right. That's the allure.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's perfect. It's a perfect video game. There's very few of them. That is a perfect video game.
Yeah,
because you can play. I'm not a big Minecraft person. Like I haven't played it much, maybe once. You can interconnect online as well. Like do like a multi.
I can go to your world. You can come to my world.
Wow.
We can hang out, get bunk beds.
How many people can be like in one map at a time?
I don't fucking know. We get people to come into the world for like my brother-in-law and his kid play with Amelia and I sometimes. But when I play Minecraft, I just play straight survival. And I just go dig and find shit, look for lava. That's it. It's like therapeutic almost. It's a transcendental experience. So,
I'll have to play it.
Yeah, it's perfect.
On Switch, right?
You can get away anything you want, download it on your computer.
Well, I mean, you play on Switch.
Yeah, that's just what we have on the main TV, so that's what I play.
I'll have to buy it.
Minecraft it is.
What else you got, Henry?
Nothing else. I just have a couple more games I brought up.
Oh, we're hitting wins. Let's do it.
Well, not wins, but I used to play this as a kid, Comic Zone.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I don't know that one.
You got the soundtrack? It comes with
Uh,
one, but I think there is a standalone soundtrack too.
I know I didn't get the soundtrack.
I think there is. Huh.
I love how your face is on his reflecting on like his door in the background. So when he moves his head, it's just Josh. Like,
it is.
It's like creepy, like Two Men and a Baby style. Like, what's that in the background?
Oh, really? Okay, I got to see this now. Let's see what else we got in.
Oh, we talked about this game before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, I guess in my mind, obviously Mario and Zelda's are, whatever worth it. But I think important games like Night Trap to video game history. It was not only video game history; it basically made ESRB, right? Like like the digital medium industry, the digital medium, it changed it. So I think titles like that are important. Obviously, it'll never sell for $1 million, but it's just an important piece of history. So.
That reminds me, I bought some of those Night Trap NFTs off Heritage. I don't think I ever transferred them to a digital.
Yeah, how are you gonna monetize that, man? Are you gonna create like
no.
T-shirts from them?
I need to do that. I totally forgot.
Yeah, now you got all the time in the world.
Oh, I'm working.
Oh, I know you are. Hustling.
Every damn hustling.
He's digging holes.
Digging holes. Gonna put people's bodies in them.
Yo, Matt, what you got to show?
I got some cool stuff. Sure.
Yeah.
I got a random mix. I meant to show this. Maybe I'll show that next time. I just picked up. I think it's cool. I got to thank Eric for that hookup, but I like this. This is a game like I would buy if it were like nowadays, and it's really nice. So
second print.
Oh yeah.
It's okay.
I still like it.
It's like
And
getting
then-
your classic series or greatest hits. What you
Oh
got?
my gosh. And then I've had I filled in some computer games. I think I have one of these, but this one's a little bit nicer. So I've got all 3 Tomb Raiders now. In this style box, not in the square or anything. And then
Yeah, there's for the whole set, Matt. There's like, I don't know if you can hear me right now.
yeah, I can hear you.
For that whole set, there's like gold edition for Tomb Raider 1, gold edition for Tomb Raider 2.
Yep,
And then there's
got them.
yeah, I think there's like 7 total.
Yeah.
Across all versions. Then Last Revelations and
I think I have 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
And then I buy weird stuff.
Mhm.
I thought this was cool.
You bought a Radio Shack RF
Yeah.
changer?
And then I bought it along with I think I'm gonna maybe do CIB. Just I mean, finding these sealed is so stupid. So I just bought a bunch of CIBs. I'm just gonna see if I can. I don't know. It fills that collector bug for me. And then of course I got a nice adventure.
Nice. As long as it's
It does
cheap.
have yeah, no, it
Yeah,
wasn't.
that's
Didn't break the bank, but it
nice.
was a nice little. And then yeah, that's good for now. I've got more stuff, but I can save it for a different episode. That's just fun stuff.
I feel like I got
Yeah.
something yesterday. What did I buy? Something in the mail. What did I? Fuck, I can't even remember.
Well, while you think about that, I think right now is a good time for people to upgrade any game that they have. Like whether it's like even if it's the same game but in a higher grade, because press versus press. I don't think people should be scared of buying a higher grade and reselling an old one, the lower one. I think a lot of people. I was talking to Matt about it. Like there are a couple games that were for lower grade but came out first and sold for a certain price, and then the higher grade comes out second and sells for like half. So like back then when the market was good, you'd see people upgrading all the time. But now it's like when someone has a game, doesn't matter what grade it is, they're almost not upgrading it when they can for literally half the price. So I think people are just still scared, or they just don't have enough liquidity to participate. But I mean, I don't think there's a better time to upgrade than now.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Blood in the streets. Not quite blood in the streets, but
I think for a lot of games, the blood's already dry, but you get bones and skin and bones, man. That's it. So, what do you win, Josh?
Henry can help us read through the comments.
Let's do it.
Okay.
This is fun. I love doing the comment thing. Yeah, let me share the screen here.
I haven't even looked since.
No, yeah, I haven't looked at all. I like to not look, just because it's kind of fun.
Like to use your imagination, Matt.
It's a paper bag. All right. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Good. Paused it on a good one.
Oh.
All right. Good old Brian Baker. Hey man, how's it going? I like Brian. He's a cool dude. Loves paintball too, so we get along great. Anyone else calling the new water holders Rev A cases?
I think that's not a bad idea. It's a revision A.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yo, NFTs. There you go.
You
You know what to do now.
You want to
Any
read that?
minute oh my god, dude! Read this thing.
You want to read that one, Henry? Go for it.
Yeah, can you minute NFT and give it away for the 69th episode? Josh has a lot of them. Night Trap. Maybe of Josh talking about big bosses of four swords. Just use our Night Trap one. Now you have a use for them, man.
That comment would have won the water bottle right there.
Yeah.
The water bottle is en route. We'll hear about it in a couple months. Actually, there's log snacks right there. There's the winner. Josh, go for it.
Oh, I'm moving closer and closer each day to unsubbing with all the Australian mix-ups. Question about Pokemon Red. I remember an episode a while back, Josh saying something about the Sandshrew and Rattata screenshot not mattering for first print. That's hilarious that we actually brought that up today.
I did not read these two, by the way.
Neither did I.
No.
Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I haven't been able to sleep since. Well,
well,
if you're having trouble sleeping, cannabis works pretty well. Also, there's sleep aids, Benadryl, that can help.
yeah.
But as far as the two, one being first or second, I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. I think that the other ones are budget boxes and they were packaged for Sam's Club blister packs and Costco blister packs. So, and I think that reason exists because when you are a vendor and you need to sell to Costco says, we need you to package something unique that's better than they could go buy at Target, and it's going to be cheaper. So if you were to go to Target and buy a Pokemon Red, a Game Boy Color, and a little adapter thing, a little case, and then a light or some shit or a strategy guide that's in the Costco pack, you would have spent like $150 for all that shit, maybe more. I don't know. And what Costco does when they approach these places like Nintendo, Microsoft, any place that sells in Costco, they have to have special packaging and provide it to the consumer at a lower price point. That is their whole shtick across their whole fucking company. So what they probably did was approach Nintendo and said, we need this in here. Joe Schmo can go buy all this shit at Target for $150, but we're going to sell it for $110. How are you going to do that and still make your profits that you need to make? That's the only way you can sell at Costco or Sam's Club. And so Nintendo's like, fuck, we're just going to go down to our graphic shop. We're going to have them print up the boxes, and lo and behold, we sent them the early production box. Who cares? The boxes are printed. Let's send them out. There's no quality control here. Fuck this shit. We're making less money. I really believe that's what happened. So.
Yeah, that was a hell of a story.
Okay. That's why I think it doesn't matter. And
let's just say we don't know definitively.
We don't know definitively, and that's why I'm not going to put that information out there as fact, because we just don't know. But if they came out, they probably came out at the same time.
Fair enough.
One was at Costco and one was at Target, and you had your choice depending on where you wanted to shop that day. All right.
Kevin G, new to the channel, enjoying the content, discussing the hobby. Thank you, Kevin G. You are biggest fan, number 11.
Straight G right there. Kevin, if this is your second episode and I was a little off the cuff, I'm not sorry.
Unsubscribed. It was fun, and see you later.
Man.
Going over to Dylan.
Decaps.
Josh, decaps.
Always be my wingman. Top Gun Series X. Hey, Matt, you know what they say.
Where were you today?
Mm-hmm. You know what they say? It's not a good idea to dip in company ink.
No, I don't know that one.
You don't? Because I totally want to dip in your ink, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
gosh. Henry.
I don't know what to say to that. So I looked out being underbidder on Nintendo Power. Thanks for letting me know it wasn't French Canadian.
Real lucky.
So is Decaps like your third fan in Canada? Second? Like
he's number one.
He rotates.
He's number one.
Yeah, he rotates.
Oh yeah, there's our friend Big Box Game Shop who had the nice sale on the what's a butt game, the RP one, League of Legends. I can't think.
Nice on eBay.
Yep,
that
was a sale. I like seeing that shit.
Super junk.
Love
to see computer games get more love. The marathon is an awesome pickup. Jealous.
Yeah, the marathon is awesome. Oh, I did get some stuff, but I'm not going to show it. We'll do it. I don't think we're going to do another show this week, but next show, I'll show you some of the weird ass computer stuff that I bought. I went to Goodwill today. I needed a thrift day. Right. And I found some weird computer stuff that I think is cool that would probably just end up in the dump. So we'll share that next time.
Cool. Henry, you're up.
Please don't send anything unless that's what she said sticker. Go.
It's a
Timothy, we're gonna send you some stuff.
Yo, gotta get gamer stocks out, man.
double. Yeah.
Yeah, are you hiring, Timothy? I need a job.
We'll send you Josh. We'll just send you Josh.
I know I need to write you something still, but I don't know how to write it now. So
All right. Well,
it's not necessarily applicable.
the problem with Wada's new case isn't the possible yellow problem. It was the fact that people are asking about the possibility in their Discord and were ignored. So drama ensued when people started posting pics of their new case with a fake yellow hue and they got banned. I have said before, communication is key, and that was a misstep on Wada, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
That's fair. I don't know how long it went on. I have no idea. That's kind of funny. They got banned. Okay.
Henry can wrap that one up.
Hope you're planning on warping that in sync.
Oh, I haven't sent it in yet.
Oh, we got to send.
Oh God.
Henry, did you catch that? Yeah, we got to send. I can stop sharing this. We'll come back and. Yeah, we got to send all three. I can pay.
Oh, you're
put a
talking
note
about
on mine at CGC.
side by side comparison.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna stick them in the sun.
Oh yeah, stick it in the sun. Yeah.
We're gonna take all three cases and stick them out in the sun.
Yeah.
We almost have to. I don't. How
We
fast
are gonna stick it where the sun does shine, Matt.
How fast? Now VGA is tricky though, because wasn't it? Well, it used to be. I don't know. I haven't sent there in a while. It used to be archival had that extra UV protection.
I think it's still archival. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna have to archival if we send the VGA, which is fine because we need that back within 4 months, and that's probably archival right now.
Yeah, and in 4 months there's gonna be zero sun in Oregon, so we're gonna have to go to Arizona and do this. Fuck.
So we'll speed run. Well, CGC is just fast in general, aren't they? Anybody here grade? I haven't
sent them anything. No, I think they have been getting stuff back pretty quick.
Yep.
I've bought a couple CGC games.
So speed run, standard grade, and then archival.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be a fun test. I can put them here out on the deck. I can just put them in my backyard on the deck.
Okay. Can we just set up like a live stream camera that anybody can log in anytime and watch things?
Just watch games on the deck.
Can you set that up, please?
Henry, can you help us with that?
Donate to Patreon or something like that. Yeah.
Donate to the
set up a Patreon. Yeah, of course.
The fading of games.
Yeah.
We'll just have some music going in the background the whole time.
Just soft elevator music or something.
You know how you have your Oregon Trail website, Matt? We'll do something like that where it's like just a static website with a webcam that's always on.
I could do it. I could set it up. That's fine.
Somebody's going to steal that shit.
Watch it yellow. Watch grass grow. Which one wins?
You're going to have to protect them from the rain, though.
Yeah, that's going to be the tricky part.
You should just buy a UV lamp and then
put
it on that.
People are specifically saying sunlight.
Yeah, I know, but you know,
we'll get rid of
it.
That's tough because I'm pretty sure every case. Well, I know every case. If we can figure something out, we can figure out some kind of. It rains sideways here in Oregon now.
I mean, if plants can grow under UV light, why can't game cases yellow? You know,
it might have to be in some kind of like glass box where the UV is coming through the glass. I mean, because that'll protect it from the rain. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Leave your thoughts and comments as to what you think, how we should solve that problem. Oregon gets rain. What do you want me to do?
Shout out to Dan Caps for remembering the NSYNC thing because I forgot.
And I
Hopefully
didn't.
you'll be on next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hopeful.
I think
Yeah.
this is episode 61.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're only like 8 episodes away. Make a note, Dan. Make a note.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got, Henry?
That's it, man.
That's it.
That's it.
Been an honor for you to be here. Thank you.
Oh, man. You guys are two of my favorite people in the video game community. So anytime.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
We love you too.
Peace.
Peace.
Thanks everybody for watching. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Let us know maybe you have some creative idea of how we can yellow these games, with rain situations. What are you thinking? Does a glass box count? What's going to pass the test in people's eyes, or do we just need to let them get rained on? The problem is some of those cases might take on some water, maybe not.
Why don't we do that as a test, part of the test too? Put your fucking game in the elements. See what you get.
Yeah.
Just leave it on Josh's lawn and see what happens. Maybe earthworms go in or something like that.
I know they might on the back of the
insect underneath the seal. That's how it gets there.
It's the VGA case that scares me the most, just because that bottom edge is just not glued, so it can breathe, rightfully so. But so maybe we'll have to keep it elevated. But yeah, leave your thoughts, comments. Love reading them. Give your love to Henry here. Thank him for being on the show. Happy to bring more people on, and we'll see you guys next time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll see Dan.
Maybe.
Dan, can you send us pictures, by the way, that are autographed? Appreciate that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.